Just been weird lately, bro. That's the button you wanted to push?
What's the button do?
That was a complete mistake.
Chill.
Is that glass breaking?
What's going on, people?
Yo. What's going on?
New day, new times. It's Sunday, May 21st. I don't know what that means, but it means something somewhere.
Somewhere.
How's everybody today?
Hey, man, good, man. Hey, it was just Haitian Flag Day, though.
Yes, it was. Sir.
Shout out to the Zoes.
Man,
Sakafet.
I just had some bouillon for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
My niece got me some bouillon.
Oh, do me a favor. Put that.
Golly, what's going on, dog? What's happening here?
Just the remote's right there.
Yeah, man.
Let me get it.
Golly.
That's my fault. What's going on today, guys?
Man, everything good, bro.
Man.
What's going on with you, man?
Life.
Life?
Life, man.
Life is lifing out here.
Yeah, life is lifing for sure. Yeah. Today's topic is a good one. I like it. It's like it'll probably become my new favorite. It's how to start a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But before we do that, man, hey, who do we have to my right and to your left, my brother?
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Juan Carlos Pablo Herrera Navarro.
No.
Man, that just got real intense.
No.
You gonna remember
What's
all
going
that?
on,
Yeah.
man? My name's Jose Navarro. I'm from Atlanta, originally from Miami.
Any
I'm a
relations
writer,
to-
director?
Omar
Filmmaker.
Navarro from Ozark.
Negative. Although I get that a lot, man. A lot.
Really?
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Every time I meet somebody, they hear my last name. Hey, you watch Ozark? I did, but I didn't get that far to meet Omar.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So man, like a lot of people get it confused when it comes to like how they want to go about their relationships. I think everybody has the formula or per se, because we all have our experiences. So everybody thinks they know better, or maybe people think they don't know anything at all.
Yeah.
But I think a good point about actually reflecting on the relationships that you do want to build is through like the number one word is like communication. Like if you don't have that going, then you really don't have anything going at all. So,
Okay.
I think, I think one thing that we don't take into account a lot of times when we think about communication is whether or not we feel safe with the person first. Because communication is probably the most central piece that we need to make a relationship work for sure, especially in the long haul. But a lot of times we don't communicate with the person because we don't feel safe speaking freely or being 100 with them. We might feel judged or whatever.
Yeah.
And that piece, if you don't have that, then you won't have communication. You won't have real, true communication.
That's real. Hey, when it comes to speaking about starting a relationship, of course, communication is key. Before we get started, though, hey, listen, share. We need you to share this on your Instagram. We need you to share this on your Facebook. We need you to share this on social media, period. Yeah. Click the bell, like it, subscribe. That's what I got to say.
Yeah.
Look, so how to start a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Of course, communication is key, right? But one of the things I want to emphasize, and we're going to get back to communication because it's huge. One of the things I want to emphasize is, number one, a priority that I would like to focus on. I'm not saying this is rule number one, but this is one of the priorities is the individual that you plan on dating or you plan on being serious with is not perfect. You got to go into the relationship understanding and knowing that this individual is not perfect. All right. And then the second thing I want to focus on is how you start the relationship is how you maintain the relationship.
yeah, we all get lost in that, man.
Get lost in the sauce, bro.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? And so let me pause with that. If there's a dude that's trying to impress a young lady, I understand that we are in a society where, you know, it's expected for this dude to impress this young lady by taking her to these fancy dinners. And these women are saying, you got to wine and dine me, right? But for how long? Because what's going to happen is if the lifestyle that he's introducing this young lady to is outside of his budget, How long can he continue to sustain this fraudulent lifestyle?
But he shouldn't have started off with the budget that he can't afford.
Yeah.
Bro.
See what I'm saying?
Like, that's the
Facts.
thing. Like
But
everybody
we do that. I've done that so many times in my past. Like I've made that mistake before. I've made just about every mistake, but that one in particular, I have done that where I've like gone out of my way to try to
That's real.
impress someone, to take them on vacations and shit. Knowing damn well I got like after the vacation I got like $26 in my bank account.
Come on.
like I'm broke after that shit and stressing.
Yeah.
And then the relationship is hurt because like she feels something's wrong, but I can't tell her that I don't know how I'm gonna like pay my bills now that we've gotten back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because we haven't gotten to a place
real.
where I'm comfortable sharing something like that with her because we're still in the early stages. But that is to say that that's my fault. Like that, to Rivens' point, I should have never put that forward. I should have never put that forward if that's not something that I could sustain, and that was the first mistake I made.
So
That's
look,
all.
man, hearing that, man, and just being truthful for the dudes, we have to set that expectation. Not, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is my budget. This is what we're doing. Nah, don't be weird, bro. Don't, you know, you ain't coming at her like that or whatever the case may be. However, you're sharing your interest in this young lady on a level that isn't noticeable, bro. You got to be smooth with it, bro.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time when you don't want to speak about what you want or how you want to start off and build a relationship is like due to fear. Like you have a fear of possibly like losing that person, possibly like, you know,
Facts.
not getting what you want in the beginning because, you know, we all have an objective, whether it's to actually be in a long-term relationship or we want to be in one of those relationships where you just get to have sex. But it has to be communicated. Like I've learned over the time that I've been dating that you have to say something.
Good,
And
bro.
if you don't say something, you're wasting your time. You're wasting that person's time. Everybody's just going to get into the place where they're complacent with whatever is going on. And when things are not going their way for a long period of time, they're like, man, I'm not going to stay in this. Like, forget
Come
this.
on.
Like, I'm out.
That
So-
goes to the point of how I started. That person is not perfect. All right. And so when you don't acknowledge the fact that the person that you're getting into a relationship with is not perfect, that's when you develop this mentality where you're saying, hey, listen, if I don't like it, oh no, this is a deal breaker. Oh
Yeah.
no, this is a deal breaker. Everything is gonna be a freaking deal breaker, and you're gonna be single every year. You understand what I'm saying? And so one of the things that I would like to put a pin in what you just said, bro, I got fired up when you freaking said it, bro. You start talking about communicating the objective.
Yeah.
The way I word it is make your intentions known.
Yeah, but you know what could be scary though? Like if you tell a woman, "Hey, I'm dating you because for one, you're really attractive, and then I love your personality," and if you tell her 2 weeks in or even less than that, "Hey, I'm doing this because I want to maybe see if we can eventually like make it to get into marriage," like that would scare somebody off. You know why?
That would, yeah. I think so.
That
I hate to
Why do
say,
you think? Why? Why do you think?
because I think it just puts them in a realm to say that you're moving too fast. And
Facts.
And if you're moving too fast for them, how much slower is life? Because I don't think we have so much time to say when you're gonna be dead or not. To say I want
you
this
know
right now.
What you could do, and
take
it goes
notes.
towards like what you were saying with setting your intentions, is just saying like starting off early in a relationship, letting her know that like, hey, I'm not in a place looking for a hookup. I'm not in a place that's looking for just a good time or someone to converse with. Whoever I spend or invest my time into, I'm looking to take that to the next level. So you never have to say the word marriage. The word marriage, for some reason, early on in the relationship or whatever it is like super scary. Even though that could be the end goal for both people involved. But to your point, yeah, it does make a woman sometimes feel like, or man, if it goes the other way around, if a woman says it, the guy will feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
It feels like they're going too fast, but in actuality, you're just trying to be straightforward with your intention. It's just a matter of the delivery, I think.
boom. I mean, for me, bro, no matter what the delivery is, I believe it's the mindset of that individual. And if you state your intention saying, look, man, I'm coming in this relationship with the intention to marry, right? If somebody is spooked by that, immediately they have shown you without words that they're not ready for what you're ready for.
Why not just ask the person, what do they want in the beginning?
Of course, you ask
You know
that.
what I mean?
Correct.
Like,
Of course, hey,
there'd be
that's the
nothing
most
wrong with that
obvious thing
whatsoever.
that's being avoided. You know what I'm saying? But if someone says, "I think we're moving too fast," that's an appropriate time to now communicate and ask. So listen, what are your intentions for this relationship?
Yeah.
You know, why is it that you believe that this speed isn't going in the direction you want this relationship to go?
Yeah, I mean, if you could see somebody get married after knowing each other for 3 months and last a lifetime, but then you see the opposite where they do the same thing and they only last a year. You know what the difference is? What it could be, at least it could be lack of communication. Just because you fall for somebody, what is it? Love at first sight, in a sense, for both ends. When you just jump in there, you're like, man, this person is just it, but you don't really get to know them. That could be the problem too.
Absolutely, bro.
It all varies on different things.
Look, in a relationship, relationships have more to do with just sex. You'll hear me talk about this all the freaking time. All right? Because we have based relationships on affection. We have based relationships on the physical aspect of it. But then there are some aspects that aren't being discussed, nor is it talked about throughout the course of the dating phase about how that individual manages their money. All right.
Yeah, but that's that's a sensitive topic.
Why would it be sensitive if I've announced to you as a young lady that my intentions is to get married? So at some point in this relationship, I want to talk to you about the fact that you have a full-time job, but you're asking me for $200. Why is it that you don't have $200 in your savings account? Now
That's
we got to
true.
talk.
That's true.
Because if you want a future with me, you know what I'm saying? I have to understand why you behave this way. Because we trying to grow, and we can't grow if you can't manage your own money. You think you can handle mine?
Yeah.
My bad. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, you're right. You're right. I mean, I think it's a matter of timing for sure. That conversation has to be had at some point in any relationship. I think in order to proceed to the next level. If you don't have that conversation before you decide to put a ring on it, then my man, you are in for some dangerous living.
Absolutely. We talking about finances. What about the other aspect when you guys start parenting? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that's a completely different topic, you know. But if these conversations come up, right, and while someone's dating, that's when someone would they'll go back and be like, "Yo, we're moving too fast." I have to wonder. This is just me, and this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is facts. All I'm saying is I got to wonder how seriously you really want a relationship if you're a man or a female, bro. How seriously do you really want a relationship if you're not willing to confront all of these different possibilities that's involved in a relationship, bro?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, if we are in a relationship, all right, now I'm going to speak from a man. My mindset is to make sure that I'm not just protecting you physically, but I'm protecting our future. So I'm interested in your retirement. I'm interested in how you manage your money right now. I'm interested in how we're building with our finances, how we're building our portfolio, how we're building our real estate. There's a lot of things that my mindset is on. But you as a partner, if I have you as a partner, one of the things that I'm thinking about is, bro, how can you help me manage my freaking real estate if you can't manage your money?
It's a good question, though. I mean, it still comes into play where you have to be open in the beginning. Like, if you're not open, like, I don't see the point about it anymore. Like, if I can't tell you what I feel like I need to say in the beginning, and I have to hide it just because, you know, I think you might feel some type of way, I'm wasting my time.
Wasting your time, dog.
Like, it's
Wasting
too
your
much.
time. It can't be any dog in a relationship. Of course, there has to be transparency and vulnerability, but the transition to one of the problems is sometimes we've experienced things in the past where we were transparent or we were vulnerable, and instead of that person comforting us, they used it as a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you mentioned the word vulnerability, it kind of clicked for me, and I think that could be one of the reasons why these conversations are so hard to have, because there are plenty of people in our past sometimes that have used it as a weapon, and that makes us uncomfortable. So when you say marriage, that takes the person back to the last person that said marriage and was full of shit. And it's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to touch that right now, because the last time I heard those words, it turned into a nightmare. Or when you say finances, same thing. Maybe she or he was vulnerable and was honest with the person, and got degraded for it. What? You only got how much money? Like, what are you doing with your money? And then, you know what I mean?
Spitting, bro.
So now they come to you and they love you. They want to move to the next level, but when you're hitting those words, they go back to that. And so that's stuff that obviously they need to deal with. But it does affect the way we interact with them now, and we don't really have any control over it.
Hey, bro, that was powerful, bro. That was powerful. The point of it all is that all of these different aspects of how to start an effective relationship, what we're doing is you're dealing with imperfect people. To jump to his point, imagine, I'm gonna speak to the fellas. Imagine if, you saw a young lady. The reason you approached her in the first place was because she was attractive. I don't know one brother that just approached a female because he thought she had a good personality. That just doesn't happen. All right, I mean, if you find a brother, please. I mean, I would like to meet that brother, and I want to know what make him tick. Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's because you thought she was attractive, and then as time went, you got the buns. All right. And now that you know what I'm saying, that you got access to the buns, now you realize that she's the gawk queen. You get what I'm saying? And then you get to that moment where, you know what I'm saying, you get and you understand, you're like, yo, man, how did you get so great? And she say, I got 70 bodies. All right? Now, with that, though, this is, here you go right here.
I personally don't give a fuck.
Dog, that body count for me matter, dog.
You see what I'm saying?
Matter to me
yeah. See, everybody has teeth.
Now look, now check me out. I'm glad that you mentioned that body count matters. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it matters too. But the point that I'm saying is this: you see that judgment that my dog was just talking about? It came straight out your mouth, and that's exactly what that person. That's why they're afraid to be vulnerable.
That chick is never gonna tell her body count to the next person.
Never gonna tell her body.
Never gonna be honest with the next person about that.
Because, bro, it wasn't treated delicately, bro. These are things, bro, that people. You remember last week you talked about, not last week, the week before you talked about the 3 things. I forgot what you said.
Oh, the 3 different type of people you are.
Yeah, the 3 different. Yeah. And then you was like that public you, and then you said the private you,
and then the secret
that secret you. Yeah. Oh, they taking that junk to their grave because they don't want to be hurt emotionally, dog. And the truth is, when we can't be real, man, and want to love that individual and say, hey, listen, I understand that you're embarrassed about that, but I love that part of you too. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And listen, it was how you captivated me with the gawk. You wouldn't have got that experience. You know what I'm saying? Had you not, But I think,
I think a lot of people though ruin how things can be said, especially like the previous experiences that we have, or even friends, man. Friends mess up things because if you
talk about that,
if you jump in a relationship or you're starting a relationship, whose opinion do you go get first? Like some of the time, or most of the time, you go get your friend's opinion to see what they think about what you're experiencing, and that can go ahead and twist your mind on which direction to go to.
Yeah.
So it's like I heard something really cool like the other week. I was like, it's like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Like this woman said that she would not, she doesn't tell anybody her business. Like when it comes to her relationship.
Me neither. Go ahead.
So if she has an issue with her boyfriend or her husband or whatever she said, if she has an issue with him, she hashes it out with him and him only. It's never said through anyone else. If they have a problem, it's with him and she keeps it with him. If he has a problem, it's with her. He keeps it with her. It keeps everybody out of the loop to give their opinions on how they should fix it. And if they want to come to a conclusion to fix it, they'll do amongst themselves. Yeah. It keeps everything intact in a way.
That reminded me of some advice my dad gave me way before I got married or whatever, man. My dad actually said, hey, listen, if you and your wife get into an argument, your mom don't need to know, I don't need to know, and her family don't need to know. Because what's going to happen is y'all going to forgive each other, but they still remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so now they up here mistreating
Yeah, that's I did wedding videography for several years, and so I've heard a lot of best man speeches, and a lot of the ones that are my favorite are the father of the bride speeches, of the parents talking and giving advice, on how to make a marriage work. And one thing, there's like three things I think that you hear at just about every wedding, but one of those is like, keep your problems to yourselves within your relationship and work on them together. Don't get other people involved.
That's real.
I've heard that countless times over the years.
That's real, man. Because you put other people information into what y'all got going on. The truth is, those other people, they're not helping y'all pay bills. They're not helping y'all raise y'all kids.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're not helping y'all at all. They just there.
Yeah.
In fact, I want you to, if you get married or if you are married, I want you to think about all the people you invite to your wedding. Let's say you got 150 of them. And let's see how many of those people are around 10 years from now.
Oh, you won't see but maybe 3.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there are the select handful of, you know what I'm saying,
Family,
still
for sure,
have those people that's still there. But take a look at all the people that was at your wedding. I'm telling you, like, you barely even communicate with those people. You get what I'm saying? So that alone was an eye-opener where I'm saying to myself, well, why would their opinions matter about us? You know what I'm saying? And so that's definitely something for you to consider. Other people's opinions about you and your significant other is null and void.
Yeah, all day, man. All day.
But when you're in the beginning of a relationship and you're trying to get a feel for it, like, what do you do then? Because now, with marriage, yes, 100%. What about 2 weeks into a relationship, you're really feeling somebody, and maybe they said something that made you feel a little off, something off-putting, or maybe they have a perspective that you don't necessarily agree with.
That's good, bro.
Do you talk to a friend then?
No.
But no, like,
nope.
Don't.
Good question.
No, because sometimes
Talking to them.
Sometimes in the defense of the person who has to deal with the problem or the situation, you don't have the answer. So instead of talking about yourself per se, if you go to your best friend, you talk about, like, I don't know, like, Susie at the job told me her situation. Give her situation. Like, stay away from you. If you really have no answer for yourself, give an example to someone else about someone else so you can get an answer for yourself. But if you got it, it's going to take you being like a little secretive and being like a little sneaky around your friend, because you don't want your friend to dictate your relationship. But if you really don't have the answer, ask somebody.
Now, so, but look, for me, here it is. So, I'm going to look at it like this. If I'm just starting my relationship and I'm asking my friend or someone for advice for this particular relationship, please don't misinterpret what the heck I'm saying. Please don't misinterpret what the heck I'm saying. Just try to understand what I'm saying. For you to dig deep down on the inside of yourself and ask yourself what you want. Because if you're in a disagreement with this individual or whatever the case may be, and I go to my friend for advice, then I have to ask myself, do I really know what I want? Because I need to figure out if I'm going to work it out with this individual or if I'm going to leave it alone right now. This is a me issue. You get what I'm saying? How can my friend can give advice, but how can my friend really determine what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
And for that reason is why I would say, hey, listen, communicate with that other individual. Talk to them. Ask them why they think like that. Ask them how did it work out for them. Why is it that this is your mindset or whatever the case may be? And how did it benefit you to think this way? Maybe it might change your mind. You get, or maybe that might be an opportunity where you can have an intellectual conversation and say, hey, listen, this was my perspective and this is how it worked for me. And this is the outcomes that I'm receiving. And that's why I feel X, Y, and not feel, this is why I think the way I think. You get what I'm saying? Now, when you consider your outcome, when you consider my outcome, you get what I'm saying? Which would work best for you? I'm just saying. Some people.
I'm sorry, Omar. Just got a comment from Candace. She says maybe one person needs to manage the money, then can't be good at everything sometimes. which is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand
Maybe one
what she's
person
saying.
Could take care of the money in the relationship.
Yeah,
But that would be definitely like
Partnership.
longer, deeper in the relationship. like
yeah,
marriage
that's
and
that's
stuff like that,
yeah, more or less when you like this is the person, this is the
Yeah.
one.
Absolutely.
And you should play to your strong suits in
sure.
the relationship,
For sure.
in a marriage especially.
But
Nah,
I
absolutely.
I can attest to that because I've had that situation like with my ex-wife, for example. When I used to be in a relationship with her, I handled the money. But the thing was, it put, I'm gonna say, my prior self into a position where if I controlled the money, then it seemed like I controlled her. If I controlled her, I controlled whether or not she can get certain things, and it became a problem.
All right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying amongst the past person. No, what?
Look, that is not the start of the relationship, dog. You about to make me
No.
You about to make me spiral.
No,
and
no,
go.
no. I'm not. But I'm not talking based off the beginning of the relationship. I'm talking about based off of her comment.
Okay,
Like
okay,
if you
okay,
have
okay.
if you have management of money, it just makes it could change the dynamic of the relationship depending on the person if they can handle it or not. Just because a woman is working and she brings you money doesn't necessarily mean she's just like, oh, do what you want. It's more or less like, hey, handle it for us.
But that's not at the beginning of a relationship.
No. Just based off of the
This
comment,
is,
yeah.
No, based off of, I completely understand that. When it comes, well, you're about to get me off the topic because I was about to go down that avenue. You know what I'm saying? But at the beginning of if we're going to talk about money, let's say at the beginning of that relationship, this is where we should be the most, not cautious. Like we should observe the most. Love will blind you from a lot of behaviors, from a lot of, habits that you get to see or whatever the case may be. I am very confused that a woman don't think to themselves, why is this man spending $200 on dinner for me every night?
It depends, though.
Wait a minute. Why haven't a woman really thought to themselves? Hey, like, hey, does this man really make $500,000 a year?
Oh, he might.
He might.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, if the average man in America makes $50,000 a year. Now, knowing that as adults, and you seeing somebody spends $200 a night, at some point, you be like, hey, you ain't got to spend $200 a night. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I think
That's-
early in a relationship, it's going to be hard pressed to find anybody that's going to go ahead and say, "Hey, let's eat in tonight," because it's early.
For me, if I was single and a young lady did that to me, keep her. Why? Because she's concerned. Bro, she wants what's best for me.
But what's the likelihood of finding someone like that so quickly?
That's why we having this podcast.
But also, but also, if you are the guy who makes $500K, $1 million a year, and this is nothing, like this is your everyday, like you normally go out to restaurants, you don't cook at home. This is nothing for you. It's the same, you know what I mean? So like, how can you can't really expect her to.
we won't stay on subject.
We might be a little off subject when I ask this question. This is
We
from
won't stay on
this
subject.
is from
I'll
Megan.
answer it.
She says
Tag me in.
She says, why do men feel that if they pay the mortgage that the woman has to do all the cooking, cleaning, take care of the kids, and stay in shape and work 40 hours? I can answer that, but go ahead, Omar. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get that right there.
You sure you don't want to go?
Nah, go ahead.
All right, so look, check me out. This young lady, before I answer my question, if you could type really quickly, is this a stay-at-home mom?
No, she says,
She said
and
she
work 40 hours
a week.
A week.
And work 40 hours a week. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you work 40 hours a week and I work 40 hours a week, now this is a shared load.
Yeah,
It's
it
see,
should be.
It's a shared load.
That's what I'm
thought-
saying, like-
I had to think, is she a stay-at-home mom? If you a stay-at-home mom, I got this all day. But if you work 40 hours a week and you're doing all that, I ain't gonna lie. It's a shared load because paying the mortgage, and is he paying other stuff too? Because if he paying other stuff, if he paying everything and you
No, she says he just pays the mortgage. Like, to me, he pays the mortgage, fine.
that means she paying utilities.
Well, who knows?
I don't know. I need more details.
But just by her
She's
question,
taking care of the kids
Yeah,
too,
she-
so maybe
yeah.
her money's going towards the taking care of the kids.
I don't know. I mean,
going towards something.
Naturally,
I hope it's not Shein.com. Not Amazon.
Naturally, a woman is a nurturer. So when a woman has to take care of the kids, I would say it's more based on because she is the one who holds it down in the house. Not to say it's an insult and the guy can't do what he has to do with the kids, but from the man's perspective, a woman is to do what she has to do to raise them because she knows in a sense of better how to raise her kids. So, and it's not like he's not involved.
Now, that term "her kids" drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah. But a lot of people say her kids. Yeah,
I know, but I can't stand it.
No, I get what you're saying.
No, but my wife say, Omar, get your son. I get
That's
it.
when he did something wrong. They're always someone else's kids when they do something wrong.
But if you're gonna,
right,
if you're gonna, but I don't know what man. Well, most guys, whoever people experience,
Man, I know what she's talking about.
Cooking and cleaning should be done equally in
Scratch
whatever
all that.
right.
I'm speaking for me.
In whatever right.
I'm not gonna cook. You want to know why? Because I can't cook.
Right.
Let me just keep that real.
Okay, that's
Listen,
different.
So now you want me to waste money on groceries because you don't want me to cook? Let me tell you what I'm good at. I'm good at making business deals. Okay? I'm good at making money. That's what the freak I'm good at. Okay? Bottom line. Hey, listen, you want me to take the kids? Guess what? I'm gonna treat the kids differently than how you treat them. When the kid falls, you say, "Oh, baby, oh, it's okay." No, I'm gonna tell hey, get up, boy.
By the way, she said, "Yeah, women. The woman does pay the utilities, so he's taking care of the mortgage."
Perfect. Guess what? I'm gonna take care of the kids as well. But guess what? It's not going to be to the nurturer, to that nurturing side. All right. So we just gonna have some tough kids.
see, that's where I agree with what Candace says, where the kids have to witness both feminine and masculine energy, which is fine. It's understandable. But most of the time, the nurturer is the woman. Like it's no insult. It's just more like that's just the way I've seen it.
But we had fun dealing with this. But the truth is, going back to the beginning of the relationship, how was this communicated when y'all started? What was the game plan? You say, hey, listen, being attractive is cool. You know what I'm saying? Having the sex is great, that's cool. But have you guys really talked about it? How you talked about how you were going to parent? All right. Did you talk about how you were going to handle the finances?
Well, that's just the thing that might be too fast for people. Okay. So,
but this is reality. So this is why we addressing it.
We're still talking beginning of the relationship.
Yeah. So structure like this. How do you think you should start a relationship? Go ahead, Jose.
What aspect? Because there's so many different.
In dating, like when you start talking to someone, like how do you think it should start? Like, should you be opinionated? Should you just be asking questions all the time, or should you just be observing?
I think you should do all of that.
All of that.
Yeah, you got to do all of it. Observing is probably one of the most important things because a lot is said without words. So you gotta look at everything that's going on, listen to the stories that the person's telling you, and see how other people are treating them or reacting to them. People who have known them longer. That's something I didn't do early on in my dating life.
Dropped it too.
But like I remember I had this one girlfriend, and early on I could tell like her and her family did not get along. She had a bunch of brothers and sisters, and they did not like her for some reason. She was the black sheep, and we always want to believe when we like somebody and we're attracted to them that they're not the problem. She was the fucking problem. She was damn sure the problem, and I found out the hard way. So,
damn.
But I had it was there. I saw I got to know the family, and like the family was cool as hell. And I'm like the brothers and sisters, everybody was cool. But you know, I come to find out a little while, 2 years of my life wasted, or should I say 2 years of my life learned, and yeah, you know the answers are there. You know the
answers are there.
You just have to
pay attention.
Yeah, you just got to pay attention.
The answers are there.
But as far real quick. But as far as like the communication piece early on in a relationship, it really depends on the person. That's where observing comes into play.
Yeah.
Because you can, when you're having conversations, the get to know you conversations, you can kind of tell what they're comfortable talking about, what they're not comfortable talking about, what offends them, things like that. And you also get a glimpse of their past and how they've dealt with things, and then you use that to determine. Are we in a place where I can open up about this or ask about this? And if I'm not 100% sure, is there a way to ease into it? to make it more comfortable for us to have this conversation if
Yeah.
it's something that I feel like it's important that we have.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's the way I would
Nah,
go about it.
absolutely, man. Hey,
What do you think? What do you think, Omar?
first of all, going back to how we started, state your intentions. You know, so I go into a relationship or whatever. Now, depending on where I'm at in my life, if I'm ready for a serious relationship, in my mind, I'm saying, hey, look, currently right now, I'm not going to say that you're my girlfriend. I'm not going to give us a title or anything right now. I want to get to know you, because once I give you the title of my girlfriend, that's simply because my intention is to go and marry you.
Okay, so do you think a relationship could start off of sex?
No, me personally.
At all.
Just sex?
No, like it started off as sex and it turned into an actual relationship.
Come on.
So you
remember
mean
who
like
you-
a one
No,
night?
I'm just
like
not.
a
I'm
one
just
night
you
not-
stand?
asking this
no,
too,
I'm
bro.
I'm just asking. I'm
Remember
just.
who you asking
I
this
just
to,
want to
man.
know what you guys think. Like, to me, it's not impossible, because you would probably see it
Nothing
like
is impossible,
No, but
bro.
you would probably see it as just by how we speak, like amongst each other about certain things.
Yes, man.
You would see it as the wrong thing if you start with sex, but sometimes people are just so attracted to each other that that's the way they communicate.
I haven't
And-
seen a successful relationship that is just always about sex.
No,
Not
not
always,
not,
but just
not
that it
about
started
sex.
that
It
way.
starts as sex. Like the whole thing starts where
You went to a party and this girl was there. She was super attractive.
So
You
check
guys
me out.
Exactly.
I have a
hooked
homegirl.
up,
Exactly.
and then
I have a homegirl that she got married when she was 25 years old. Mm-hmm. All right. Her and her ex-husband. So how I said that? Her and her ex-husband. All they did. Yeah, bro. All they
Come
did, bro,
on.
was the way that they met. Guess what they met? They met at a party. So that means both of them are party animals, bro. You get what I'm saying? So what they did, bro, they got drunk that night. You know what I'm saying? They had mutual friends, bro. They hooked up that night, bro. Buddy smashed in the car. It was great sex. You know what I'm saying? They had sex casually all the time. For 2 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? They had, that's all they did, bro, was vacation, have sex, whatever. That's 2 years. You get what I'm saying? Baby comes in. Baby comes in. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
get married. They get married. The baby comes first, then they get married. So what happens is the woman completely shifts gears. Now, women, if you watching this, you already know you have a baby. You ain't got the same vibe that you had. You know what I'm saying? When you first started dating this dude.
I'll agree with that. I think that they fall off a little.
No, I'm not gonna say that they fall
I'm
off.
gonna use that word. I'm gonna use that word.
You're dangerous.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
use
know-
that
I don't know
word.
what either of y'all
Nah,
talk about.
nah. But go ahead.
No, go
Nah,
ahead.
they don't
Omar.
fall off, dog.
Nah,
You know,
they fall off.
They priority change from you to the kid.
Fall off.
Jesus. So look, this man is crazy, dog.
God, nah, man. Come
Okay,
on, now.
I do get that though, but yeah, no, there is. You're right. There is a shift in priority for
So
sure.
there's a shift in this priority. But guess what? Remember how I said the way you start the relationship is the way you maintain it.
Yeah.
So if you start the relationship on that drinking and all y'all do is party and all y'all do is having sex. What happens is when real life starts to kick in and you got to start paying bills, you got to start taking care of responsibility. And one person is still on the way y'all started the relationship, and the other person said, "Hey, we can't keep doing this anymore." You know what I'm saying? Now this person went to therapy and was like, "Hey, listen, I understand." You know what I'm saying? That how we started the relationship, but man, I really need you to change. You know, I'm taking care. Now we're on kid number 2. I'm taking care of the kids, and you still going out with your buddies, and you still out just partying, having a good time, bro.
I get it.
So
If he or she ain't changed off of kid number 1, I don't know what the hell y'all doing
Yeah.
with kid number 2.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Hey, because the person was like, I love this person, and you know what? Eventually they'll change.
Shit.
That's exactly it.
Dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, boy.
But what I'm saying is, now on her part, she changed because real life kicked in. And that's the point I'm saying. If y'all don't talk about real life from the beginning, and all you focus on is this infatuation and this physical, whatever the case may be, real life gonna come and get you. And when real life come and get you, and you wanted your foundation of your relationship to be on that junk, the junk that ain't paying your bills, the junk that, all right, you're going to see what's going to happen. That's why I don't agree. I don't agree with that, bro.
I
It's real life out here, nigga.
I-
My bad, dog. It's real out here, dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult to start a relationship off of something like that and actually have some long-term success.
But yeah, but he
This
Sure,
went
it's
on for 10
possible.
years, dog.
Yeah, but you
10 years, dog. All right. Waste 10 years of your learn 10 years of your life. Learn 10 years of your life. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Now life gets tough for my dog. Because now my dog's still out there. Her ex-husband is still out there partying like it's no tomorrow, dog. And she's a single mom out here in these streets. Dog, listen, bro, these bad decisions. I'm trying to, dog, listen, y'all think I'm playing. Keep on basing your relationship only on your affection and only on the penis or only on the vagina. And watch what happens when I'm going to start talking, man. Y'all go ahead. I know I ain't the only one that got bills in this thing, bro.
Dog, it's
We need to get a T-shirt made. This real life.
oh my God.
Real life out here, dog. Life is lifing, dog. All right.
Look, man, I just think that not everybody has it that way when you can have some communication to say how you want to structure your life. Some people are just lost, man. And whatever their lost is, it doesn't mean like, you know, they can never be that person that you need them to be.
That doesn't mean you need to wait around for it, though.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's like pick your poison, man. Like, what are you going to get at the end of the day?
I'm not here to fix people.
Exactly.
But at the
end
there's
of
certain things that I'm
You're not
I'm
here to be a
willing-
Yanla?
Nah, I'm willing
A Yanla
to
fix my life?
the who to what? I don't know what the hell
What
that
is-
is.
A Yanla, bro. She be fixing people's life, nigga.
Oh nah. I'm not here for that. Like I'm here to work through things, but at the same time, like if you're not trying to fix it yourself, I can't be that person. Like you have to take that first step.
So check me out. That's something that you know about yourself. That's something that's discussed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the beginning. Because there are some females out here that's looking for Captain Saberho. You know what I'm saying? And that's not who some people, like, he made it, my dog made it obvious. This is not him. He don't have that red cape. All right? You got to come healed for my dog.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
you got to at least be making an effort to heal.
Oh, see that? He corrected me.
I can't come in and then see that you're scarred and be like, hey, you probably want to put a bandage on that. You're bleeding all over the place, but you don't give a shit about putting a bandage on it. Like, you got to at least, if you're trying to bandage it, well, then I'm going to help you clean the wound and I'm going to help you, like, you know, get it right and make sure that we it doesn't get infected. But I can't do it all for you.
So if you're putting a bandage on, she ain't taking it off.
What you mean?
You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna be like, "Oh, thank you for putting it on," and then throw it away and do the same thing over and over.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother problem.
Speaking
That's a whole nother problem.
speaking of healing, right? If okay, there's a thing where it's been it's like kind of a fad in the last 5 years more or less about when people jump out of relationships, they have to heal first. Like whatever, they have to go through some type of situation where they have to feel like they need to be apart from a lot of different things that they experience, right?
Okay.
Like, what if you get into that position where you're healing and you're so involved with trying to love yourself, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself. But you get to the point where when you let someone in or you try to let someone in, you don't respect the way they might be coming off to you. Like, it's like a
Like you're better than them?
like not really that you're better than them. You put yourself in a position where you're so fixated with how you are and you love the way you are. And when someone tries to step in and kind of like add or change a little bit of things because of how they are, it's a problem. Because does that mean you set yourself up for failure because you got so deep within this healing process of finding yourself and feeling like you need to love yourself more that you lost the idea of having someone else come in?
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna get crucified for what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. All right, you know what I'm saying? I do understand that I understand it. All right, but I also want to talk about the danger of it because there has to be a balance in that process.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because what I have witnessed, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. I've witnessed some people get so lost in that healing, what you talking about, where they didn't give a darn about what anybody else wanted.
Exactly.
Because they became so infatuated with what they want. They put up a barrier that was so high that they said it's going to be my way or nothing at all.
Yep.
Because I have laid down for people. I have done this for this person. I've done that for that person. And then they said, you know what? I'm never doing it again.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
No compromise.
That's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to say, you never healed. You turned into a monster.
Yeah, and the worst part about that cycle is that the healing is so championed amongst society that if you were to challenge it, you look like a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
You can't do that. You can't challenge that.
Can't challenge it.
Which sucks. But yeah. Some people can get addicted to that process to the point where they block everybody out, because if you're not completely 100% in line with this process I'm going through, then you're the opposition in some way.
You're the ops.
Yeah.
On God. And that's one of the things where I'm not against that healing process. I would just say be careful that you don't get too lost.
Yeah. I think the healing process is definitely important, but also having like a strategy and a goal, you know, something's in a way that you can find it measurable is probably is equally as important as the healing process itself, so that you don't, you know, just get infatuated with this idea of healing and never actually progress or get to where you need to be. So yeah, I think you do need to heal, but also you need to have an idea of what that looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so now, once again, going back to communication. Now, when that person who has healed effectively, they can actually articulate, hey, listen, these are some of the things that I won't stand for. You know what I'm saying? And then as you get into that relationship, now there has to be a level of respect. You get what I'm saying? However, they're still considerate of the other individual.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where they're not just saying that it's about me, because the moment that someone makes the relationship all about them, you know what I'm saying? That's when the relationship goes straight down to the pits.
That's the modern day woman.
The what? The modern day woman?
Go ahead, dog. Tell me.
You can't just say that shit.
I ain't even gonna do it.
You gotta explain that. What does that even mean?
Nah. That self-absorbed, self-righteousness shit.
This is why that came from a quote.
It did.
That right there, that's the modern day woman, dog. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this. There's a narrative that, you know, that men are narcissists. All right, I want to tell you that it goes both ways.
Yes, it does.
It goes both ways.
Yes, it does.
And gaslighting is real.
It does.
Gaslighting is real, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Ooh. No, don't even.
Go ahead, Riff. Tell us about it.
Talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go ahead and get it off your chest.
This is take my word for it when we talk about real life experiences.
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that, dog.
No, but the point I'm saying, look, man. It could go both ways. Narcissism, it can definitely go both ways, where, you know, they're making it all about themselves and degrading that other person. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not just a masculine. It's not just a gender thing where men are narcissists. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use your terminology. You know, there are some modern day women.
That's some of them
that actually fit the description.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you want a successful relationship.
No, is it an insult? If you dating somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably like 2 weeks in, and they start talking about their bills. Then they go, man, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this.
I don't know either. Shit.
And then they look at you for the answer, and you're like, well, shit, wow, I wish I could help. And you say some shit like that, and then 2 weeks later they throw in your face, oh, remember when I said this? I said it to see what you're gonna say and do.
Oh no, fuck that person. No, that's no way to communicate. That's just no way to communicate. Since we're talking about communication, if you're 2 weeks in and you're in such a bad situation that you need to ask this person, you're 2 weeks.
Control myself. Keep going.
You need to ask this person that you've been dating for 2 weeks for money. Then you just need to go ahead and straight up ask them. Like, either straight up ask them or don't. But what's going on over here?
That's why I have to. I don't know what you all believe in, but I have to thank God that I'm married. Because there ain't no way I'm putting up with this crap y'all putting up with. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You wanted to know what I was going to do. I was trying to figure out, what were you doing? Why you got a full-time job? Huh? You got a full-time job. You trying to tell me that salary not enough? Where's the second job?
Oh,
You wanted me to come in?
Well, sometimes shit happens, right? Check engine light come on, something like that. And
Let's talk about it. What happened?
Yeah, but let's say that's the situation.
Nah, look, man.
Let's just say, you're 2 weeks in. You're 2 weeks in, right? You know, you really like the girl. He's steaming over here. He's steaming. You really like the girl, right? And she's straight up with you. She's like, look, check engine light came on, and I got the money for that. But you know, my cell phone about to get cut off or something. Like, I don't know. You know, it's $200 cell phone cable, whatever it is. Let's make it important. Cell phone. You know, can you just loan it to me and I'll pay you back? You know, next week or something.
Hey,
like
straight up, I don't loan nobody nothing, but I give it to you.
Okay.
All right, but
Well, then can you give it to me then?
I give it to you. Let's talk about this though.
Okay.
How did you get here?
The check engine light came on. I could drive a fucking Chevy Malibu. They come on every month.
This is the conversations, I swear to God, that I'll be how long have you had that job? And if that was the salary, you know, tell me about your saving habits. We got to talk.
Yeah, I had a family member get sick, and they ate up my savings.
Convenient.
It's not convenient. It's really inconvenient.
How
that
convenient?
person's sick as shit. Like, it sucks. Where you gonna help me pay my
man.
cell phone bill
but
or
the
what,
joke
man?
is, but for real though, it ain't nothing. But look, if I can keep it real with you though, we clowning and everything, but if I can keep it real with you, how often does this happen? This is where it becomes a problem.
Yeah, one time is a mistake. More than that is a behavior. Behaviors are things that you need to be aware of and you need to keep note of. And those are the things that that's early in the relationship. You should be observing these things. You're looking for behaviors, not mistakes, because those behaviors will be there later on, a year, 2 years, 5 years. They're not just going to go away by themselves if they're not addressed.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to understand, man, we're having this conversation for individuals who want to have an effective, real relationship. All right. Now, there are individuals who think they want a real relationship, you know what I'm saying? But they haven't identified what a relationship was for them. Yeah. If you talk to somebody about what does a relationship look like to you, I swear to God, you're only going to get mushy gushy stuff.
Yeah.
And good sex. That's it. You're going to talk about, he needs to, make me feel good. And
that is a lot. That's a big thing for people.
That's what the conversation is going to be about.
Yeah.
Reality ain't even going to be involved in that conversation, bro.
No. See, when I start off a relationship and I think it's going to be serious, I'm pretty like straightforward about what I expect from a relationship standpoint. And in that, essentially what I'm saying is the real shit. It's like, we got to communicate. And I don't mean that notion of communication that everybody throws around. I mean the real shit. Like, we're going to have tough conversations. If I stop doing something that you really enjoyed me doing, I need you to tell me, even if you think it's going to make me feel a little some way about it.
Facts.
I need to know. Because sometimes, we get busy with life and we forget. Maybe we think it's not that important, but it was. I need you to tell me. And I promise you that I will not lash out at you or be offended by it. I'm going to listen, because that's part of communication too, is being able to listen and to receive those words.
Hey, if I could be vulnerable real quick. So there was a time. I want to say not recently, but recently, where I actually started to get more agitated. I started to get more angry at different things. You get what I'm saying? And my vibe wasn't a welcoming vibe. You know what I'm saying? In my household. Why? Simply because I was thinking about things that I needed to accomplish, but I wasn't accomplishing it. You get what I'm saying? So because my mind was on, advancing different things in my life, but I just felt like I wasn't being effective doing it, it started to impact different areas.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or how I was walking around my house, how I was parenting, how I was being a husband, or that, you know what I'm saying? And so just because I'm married, that actually happens at the beginning of a relationship too. What if somebody that you're trying to get to know is in that moment, they're dealing with trying to advance, or they're dealing with something that they're trying to accomplish, but they feel stuck?
That makes me think about how I've approached different relationships in the years, and it's funny because in the beginning I was more based off of give, because giving is impressive, and impressing you will help you stay around in a sense. And I learned like it was a waste of my time and energy, just like it was a waste of their time and energy, because the result ended in nothing to be solid. So I've stepped back to the other role of I don't give as much in the beginning anymore, but not in a way to say I don't do anything. Just more, if I would have spent $300 on dinner in the beginning, now at this point in my life, I don't do that anymore. It's more like, hey, let's go to this little small spot and get some regular ass food so we can have a regular ass conversation. I don't need you to dress up to show me how you're going to look when you're dressed up. I don't need to dress up for you. I don't need to impress you with this expensive restaurant, which I damn sure shouldn't be spending money in every fucking night.
Dude, when I was dating, I've been in a relationship now for almost 3 years, but before that, when I was dating, I made it a point of like, we would go have coffee before we even go on a real date. Because I want to just sit down and have a conversation with you with no stakes and just make sure our vibe is good before I'm going to go invest money on dinner or an event, a play, or whatever it is. Because honestly, it was more effective too. Because nowadays people have so many options, and with dating apps and things like that, like everybody's got options. It's like we got to narrow this down, and it's not cost efficient to take every one of y'all asses out to dinner. So we're gonna start going to coffee, and let me get to know you first, and let's see. And actually, I went on a couple of those, and we both agreed from that conversation that it was like there's no point of continuing because we were too different.
I heard a young lady excited about her date. She was like, girl, he taking me out tonight. And I can only imagine the girl was like, girl, where he taking you? And she goes, this is what I heard. I don't know, but I know I want to eat. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? It better be something good. You know what I'm saying? So in the excitement of that conversation, it wasn't about how excited she is to get to know this guy.
Yeah.
It
She's
wasn't.
trying to get a meal.
Bro, free meal, bro.
What can he impress her with?
Bro, when I was dating and I was on these dating apps or whatever, there was this girl that we had been messaging back and forth, and I asked her to like let me take you out. This is before I realized I need to go coffee first. So I wanted to take her out to dinner. She's like, yeah, and I was like, man, I realized I haven't heard this person's voice. So I was like, let me schedule a phone call. Let's talk. Can I call you? Blah blah blah. I could never get on the phone with her. It was really weird, but she was damn sure going to be at the date, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then I was like, it came to a point where I realized like she only cared about the dinner date. She only cared about going to dinner.
Serial data right there.
Yeah, and I was like, no thanks.
Listen, it's easy.
This is canceled.
It's easy for a listener to just be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? They're saying things about women. Let me really dig a little bit deeper with this. It's about the materialistic. And forget the gender. Forget the fact that because we're men, we date women, so we like women, so we're gonna talk about who we
our
like.
Experiences.
Our experiences.
Yeah.
So, but the point that I'm actually saying is when the foundation is on materialistic things and not getting to know who that person is at their core, look at the results.
It's done before it started.
It's done before. Look, if you're listening to this, you know what I'm saying, and you were like, oh, you know what? I wanted to hear what y'all was talking about. Homework assignment for yourself. Dig a little bit deeper. Ask yourself how many relationships you've been in. And then each one of those relationships, you get yourself a notebook and you write down what was the foundation of that relationship. And then I want you to really be authentic. I want you to be honest with yourself. Nobody is looking in your book. All right. And if the foundation of that relationship it always started with, the materialistic thing, affection, sex, look at your outcomes right now.
Ooh, you know what? You just said something. You said something that really just brought something to mind. Dog, I know someone that I've spoken to, and she said it plain and simple, dog. She said, what he started like is what persuaded her to be in a relationship with him. So it was based off of materialistic things, but it was never like, oh man, your personality won me over first. It was more like, look what he could do for me.
Oh, well, then that's doomed.
But it was doomed because it didn't last.
It was doomed from the beginning, bro. Now check me out. I often share with females the story of my dog, Steve Urkel. Man, listen, man, if you watch Family Matters, you know what I'm saying? You know who the heck I'm talking about. Listen, man, Steve Urkel was in love with a female that never wanted him. He loved this female so much, God dog.
Yeah, we don't use
Go
now.
ahead. Get that.
He loved her
final
so
thought.
much. He loved her so much, dog, that he created another nigga for her.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she had to get to the point where she was like, you know what? I wanted you all along, Steve. Listen, don't miss what's underneath your nose. Be intentional. What the heck you want? Communicate that thing. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to who's pursuing you, even when you don't want them, because that might be your prize.
There you go, brother. What's your final thoughts, Jose?
Yeah, communication, but that real shit, not that stuff that we like to talk about. Find a way to be vulnerable. And if you can do that with someone, if you can find someone that you feel safe being vulnerable with, you are ahead of the game by a long shot, because that is extremely hard to find these days. So if you find that, don't take it for granted. That's all I got.
Nice. You know how you start a relationship? At the beginning. Have a good night.
If you want a part 2, say so.